please share a little bit more and I'll be able to help you, okay? Okay, ladies, I am excited to be with you here today. Okay, like I said, I'm excited to be with you here today. This is a really special training that I have created for women who are ready to attract emotionally available men and be emotionally available themselves to be in relationship. And it's something that I've been noticing from like the women that I've been interacting with, from the videos that I've been hosting recently on YouTube. And it's something that I'm really passionate because it's so important for everybody to be empowered in their love life. It's an area where most people, once they have a particular situation occur in their life that can really shake things up, like that makes them feel unloved or not loved, or it makes them feel like there is no hope or things are not going to work out, then that identity and that energy sort of takes over and it blocks us in many ways. So this training, we're gonna do it today, on Tuesday, and on Saturday 24th. It's basically an intensive for the woman who is ready to be emotionally available in love, and she's ready to let go of all the energies, of all the pain, of all the stories that she has identified with to keep herself away from love. So I wanted to explain to you what is it that I basically really see in the area of love that is happening and what is actually needed so that you are more open for love, you allow yourself to receive more love, you are more aligned, and things start to work out for you. For this training, for today, it's gonna take 90 minutes. So it's gonna be a mixture between coaching, me mentoring you, and energy healing. And we're gonna start really powerfully. So what I invite you to have for this training is water. If you can have after the training some healthy snacks that can give you nutrients, or coconut water could be really good. Anything that really gives you a good dose of vitamins that makes you feel good. For some people, I don't recommend for you to eat meat after this. It depends on your body, and for others, I do. It depends on how you're going to feel afterwards, so I'm going to explain that later. For today, I would like for you to have a piece of pen and paper and water with you. Please let me know in the chat box if you have it with you. I would also appreciate if, for those who joined, because I know that several of you cannot join today, if you can actually turn on the camera, because it also helps me to really feel the energy. And it creates more of a flow between us where I can actually see you, connect with you. One of the things that I've said to some of my clients in the past is that when you, how do I say this? One of the signs of women that are interacting with emotionally unavailable men is that they have this energy of being super protected. They don't want to be seen, and they tend to hide, and that sometimes shows when they're having communication. I'm not saying that is you. I'm just presenting the energy so that you become aware. Like, are you having a shield? Are you feel like you need to protect yourself? If you do, then that's one of the things that we will address today. Let me know in the chat box if you have a piece of pen and paper. Please know that you can unmute yourself so that we can connect and communicate. And once you confirm, we will start. Okay, Ingrid has pen and paper. Charlene, do you have pen and paper?
Realized that I left my charger somewhere, so um, I'll be able to stay as long as the battery holds out. So I
Okay.
was trying to find my charger, and then yeah, but yeah, I've got pen and paper.
Okay, perfect. So if you need to remove the the video so that you have longer time, that's totally fine. What I would like for you to share with me today is, what is your intention? What are you desiring to feel? What are you desiring to create based on this training? I would love to hear from you, and from then we will start.
Okay, what I would like, I'd like to create, I'd like to embody being seen for who I really am, with no desire to protect or defend myself.
Charlene, give for Ingrid. Do you hear Charlene well? Yeah, no, she cannot hear you very well, Charlene. I can't either.
Uh, Let me try putting my hands free in 1 second. Is that better?
A little bit better.
Oh. Uh, I was saying that I desire to embody not needing to defend myself or protect myself. I noticed that whenever I am seen, I'm a little bit more comfortable with it than I used to be, being
Hmm.
seen, but there's definitely room for growth in that area. And I found myself being very defensive when men are concerned, because I'm afraid they would judge me or find some fault in me. But really, it's me finding the fault in me. It's me
Hmm.
judging me. So I'd like to be free of that.
That's beautiful. And what do you believe creates that in your life? What is the feeling that makes you want to protect yourself?
Hmm. I don't think, I think it's a misunderstanding of what love is and what is possible for me to experience. Um, I've seen examples of love around me which are not very loving, but it's not about that really. It's really about what I believe to be possible for my life, that I can be in love with a man or just in love with myself, firstly, and actually exist in the world without feeling that I need to defend or protect myself or to hide.
Okay, so let me get this. What makes you feel like you need to protect or defend yourself?
Um, I am pretty harsh with myself, or I can be, in regards to finding faults. And so I project that outwards, and I believe that other people would do the same. So it makes me want to protect myself from that which only exists in my head, to be honest, but just projections.
So that means that it starts with you.
Exactly.
You know, Course in Miracles says that all attack is self-attack.
Yep.
So you're basically not trying to protect yourself from other people. You're trying to protect yourself from your own attack.
Yeah.
Do you really get that?
No, I do. I really do.
I mean, if you stop attacking yourself, then you won't care if other people are attacking you because you understand that it's attack that they're doing towards themselves.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's great feedback. Thank you so much for sharing. We will address it a little bit later on today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. So we have Wendy on the line as well. Wendy, we are asking the members of today's meeting to share what is your intention for this training. The whole purpose of the training is becoming emotionally available or even more available to love, and clearing anything that's that's keeping you from getting there.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, so my intentions is really just to kind of open up my heart more and get just become more aware of the things that, even though I feel like I've done a lot of work, self-development work, I feel like I still have more to do in terms of, when I spoke to Nicole a week and a half ago, I mean, I just realized, kind of became more aware that guilt is a big part of, that's just, I have a lot of guilt sometimes with respect to other people in my life in terms of feeling responsible for them, and taking on others' emotions. So I guess just trying to get to more of a neutral place where I can be at peace with everyone's journey, as well as just become more aware of the things that I need to work on in order to open my heart more and just be more at peace, and attract things into my life that I think, I want to attract more of into my life, I guess.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, abundance of people that can, and just attracting people, not just in terms of men, but just in general, like everything, including nature, like just being more aware of the beauty and just being able to hopefully attract people so that they can, if I have a lot less fear and guilt and stuff like that, like hopefully then I can attract others that have the same, then start reflecting that reality. So I guess, so.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
The more that I clean myself up from the inside, the more my outside will be cleaned up.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Wendy, what do you believe causes, so you want to have your heart be more open. Where do you notice that it shuts down, or you notice a resistance to open even more?
I feel like my heart's opened up a lot lately, but I feel like, I guess what, I mean, I think I've resolved a lot of things in my past, but I mean, as probably a lot of us have things in our past, like our childhood, especially in particular with men, like with my dad, where I feel like after I've spoken to Nicole and I've done a little bit more work since I've spoken to her, it's been a relatively short amount of time, it's been really freeing to realize for me, and I really feel it's true for myself, at least. I can't speak for other people's journeys and what's going to work for them, but I really do believe that I chose my parents. So even though I used to try to blame my dad, even from an unconscious level in terms of him not being who I really wanted him to be as a dad or a man, or a role model for unconditional love, I realized that he was the contrast that I needed to get here. And so I'm a lot more forgiving of that. And I kind of take responsibility for every experience in my life with men, with friends, everything, in terms of my, whether I've failed or achieved things. I think everything, that's all been part of my journey. And that's been very freeing for me recently.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
And that really helps me too with the guilt, because I feel like if that's the case, everyone is kind of responsible for their own journey and kind of the experiences they had, even though some of them are horrific, obviously. And no one would wish them upon anybody. But that contrast, if you look at it that way, I think the guilt that I had was because I never realized that before. So I would, if I felt like I knew something, maybe if it was from an egoic standpoint, I would want to share it with people or help guide them or feel like I was responsible if the guidance I gave them didn't pan out for them, or if I left them behind because I didn't feel like they were helping me on my journey, I would feel guilt. And now I don't. I feel like that guilt's been lifted a lot because I realize that they're also responsible for their own journey in terms of like what choices they make. And it's not, it doesn't mean that I can't help people, but it doesn't mean that I'm responsible for other people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. We will address that today. I mean, I have had that one as well. I had that with my mom, and it's been a real thing, just how to move forward without, like, you feel like you're hurting other people, and then understanding that people are in their own journey and they're making their own choices, and just being willing to bless and help as they're ready if it's a close family member. But I will help you today, and with the other training that you are doing, the love consciousness training, it's going to help you really know how to address more of that, so that there is no guilt. That's going to be really powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Ingrid, you were saying as well, so you feel like, can you clarify why you've been feeling hopeless? I would need to hear more from you. I understand that you cannot do video right now, but please communicate a little bit more about what's going on the chat, and that's going to be helpful for me to understand. Also, because I'm hearing you say that you want to be energized and hopeful about what exactly in particular. The more you can share, the more I'll be able to support you in feeling better. So ladies, Wendy, I was recommending for the ladies to have their video on. Shirlene is looking for a charger, but it would be really good for the interaction. It's also going to help me with the energy clearing process, if that works for you. Okay, so Ingrid, tell me, where are you struggling to embody self-love? As you share that, for time purposes, I'm going to start, and I want to share with everybody what I really believe and see and understand about love, and why it's important to heal these aspects so that you can allow yourself to have more love. I was recently sharing on a meditation that I did a couple of days ago how I believe that love has never been just a physical experience or a body experience or a mind experience. At the core of it all, it's my personal belief that love is first an energetic or spiritual experience. Depending on what you believe and understand, it's at the core and at the root of who we really are. And there's always been this phrase about how we're spiritual beings in a body. And if we understand that we are all energy and we all come from love, then it's important for us to learn how to go back to that source of love. I have been on a journey where I've been asking myself so many different things about love. And at first, it was very difficult for me to understand because I started trying to understand love through my mind. And it's interesting because when people would tell me about trusting love, trusting the universe, I was like, but that doesn't make any sense because I've been hurt and my parents did this and I was feeling so much anger, resentment towards people, and I feel like I was starting to shut down. But what I realized was that the more I shut down, the more I disconnected from love. the more I was disconnecting myself, from myself. Like I was letting my own essence die. And I could feel it. And then I started to look around me and I saw the people that were filled with hurt, resentment, pain, in many ways, even like their own like physical exterior, like it was deteriorating, right? They were unhappy, their houses reflected that. And I started to really ask myself, like, is this really what I want? Whenever I look at a baby, I see pure innocence and pure love. Like babies come into the world just like hooked on life, hooked on love. They see no colors. They just love because they're connected to the truth of who we are. And it's my personal belief and understanding that living in a world like we live in, where we are called to exercise free will, and what that free will for me represents is our ability to choose love and understand that love is a choice, that love is not a place. It's not being on your mother's womb. It's not being a little baby and looking at everything through like rose-colored eyes. Love is a choice, and you get to make it every single day. And a lot of people look at love like, oh, if only I achieve this, and only if I have this, if only I have this, then I will have love. But the fact is that you're missing out on the fact that you are love. So you are not missing out on anything. And A Course in Miracles talks a lot about everything is either love or a call for love. We live in a world where if we really look at it, and please stay with me here because what I'm saying here is like, it's really deep. We live in a world that if we actually look around, we have all of the resources that we need. It's gorgeous. We have mountains, we have rivers, we have, the ocean, we have so many different beautiful animals, flowers. It's all colorful, gorgeous. It's an overflowing source of love everywhere. And I see it like a grid of love. The whole world reflects love, but then the consciousness in which we live in many ways reflects lack. And we forget that we have a choice to change things around. We have a higher self, a version of us that understands the truth, that is connected with truth, with love. And then we have our inner child. Some people call it the smaller self. My personal belief, or people call it the ego. And the ego, based on A Course in Miracles, it feels separated from life, from source. It feels like there isn't enough love for it. Therefore, it does many different things. Some people cry, some people feel victimized, some people blame, some people rob, some people do really atrocious things. But it all comes from the belief of the ego that they're lacking in love and that others are lacking in love. It's a distortion. And in my journey, I realized that in order for me to embody love and open up myself to love, I really needed to learn how to merge like my higher self with my identity in this life. And for many people that has to do with the ego, like who we know ourselves as. It's really like merge in many ways with the ego or with the smaller self. And if we can just learn how to go back to love like a kid loves and have that love for ourselves first and then for others, we can grow a lot. I am not saying go ahead and love on the person who's incapable of loving you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can always extend your love to the whole world, even if people are behaving in a crazy way, because you understand that it's a cry for love. You're not responsible for them, But the fact that you keep your heart open, you're trusting yourself, and you're not robbing yourself out of your own essence. Does that make sense? The moment you start to shut down your heart, for me, it's like the moment where like people start to die, because it's our fuel. And it's like a flower that suddenly becomes darker and darker and doesn't know its own beauty and can't see love properly and can't see that the whole world is designed to love you. And one of the lessons that we're meant to live here is learning how to choose love on every given moment. We're here to learn how to love. And if we are blaming parents, situations that happened in the past, and letting that affect your light, letting it just shut down, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. People say forgiveness is for the forgiver, and that is 100% true. You must learn to forgive so that your soul can live and you can move forward. If you're not moving forward, then you both get stuck in this link where you're not moving forward and you're both vibrating an energy of lack. Because this happened to me and you get to pay, or I can't believe you haven't said you're sorry yet, and I'm going to stay here and I'm going to suffer. The ego feels that it's separate. It feels that it's alone, that it cannot trust people, that people are not going to give it unconditional love. And most people are operating with, I don't want to say most people, a lot of people, like let's say like 40% in the world, like there's a lot of people that are operating under fear, which means separation. It makes them want to shut down. It makes them want to blame. And we have to find a way to stop the madness. And when I see people suffering about this in particular, like I work with women in particular, I notice that they're not seeing what that choice is doing to them. You're waiting on somebody else to create quote unquote justice in your life, when you are the only one that can actually do that and move forward. I have had experiences in my life where I had to learn how to let go of rancor, of resentment towards my parents. In particular with my mom. My mom, since I was very little, she's been a woman that has been suffering all of her life. And I felt guilty. And I felt like I needed to save her and I needed to protect her, because I came here as a kid, being connected with my power and feeling sorry for her and wanted to help her, but not realizing that she was making that choice. And in that unhealthy relationship that was formed, my mom would make me responsible for her since I was like 4 years, like I want to say 6 years old. And then as I started to grow up, I started to have resentment towards her. And it morphed into many different emotions, including hate. But not hate towards her, hate that I started to inhabit in myself because I felt that my parents didn't love me. And so I felt hate. It was like this huge energy of resistance that I couldn't believe that my parents didn't love me. And I felt unloved. And in that anger, it transmuted into something that was bigger. And I had all that stored inside of me. I felt sorrow. I felt alone. But then with these ideas, I started to create my life where I felt like nobody loved me. I was alone all the time. And I had to really let that go, because these lower emotions of resentment, hate, anger, fear, this angst, this guilt, shame, all these energies, they keep you stuck in the past and they're not the truth. How do I know this? because it wasn't until I actually had to turn around. It's like I grew up and I turn around and I look back and I was like, well, Nicole, you've always known that your mom has never been emotionally stable or well. How can you expect somebody that is not emotionally stable or well to take care of you? Like, it was her ego facing my ego, and we were both throwing stones at each other energetically, but none of us was to blame. My mom obviously went through experiences in her life that shaped her, and she didn't know that she had a choice. She didn't have the tools that we have now. I mean, we live in a world where all of this is just like booming. It's something to be grateful for. She didn't know what to do back then. So she just patched herself up, and she was doing what she could at the level of consciousness that she was aware of. So trying to find fault is ego. It's small self, feeling unsafe. But if you connect with the truth and you look at the grid, like I said, it's a grid of love, you're safe. It's an illusion. If you want love, regardless of whatever's happening in your life, and I do know that people have gone through really tough things in life, then you've got to be willing to at least forgive for you so you can move on. You've got to connect with that sense of safety that is there, and you've got to connect with your higher self. The actual love that exists within you and all around you. Seek that and walk with trust and affirmation and build your power back. When I say that we're here to learn how to love, I really mean that. Love in many ways represents forgiveness. And the ego doesn't want to learn forgiveness. In many ways, the ego, I don't believe that's the full purpose of the ego, but that's how we've been using it for many years, seeks to suffer, seeks to find fault, seeks to find somebody that to blame, seeks to believe that you're not good enough. Every creation here in life is perfect. Do you actually remember when you were a little kid? Go back to your earliest memory where you could actually love everyone. And all you looked at the world was with wonder and with joy. That is the truth. And then you started picking up on the collective consciousness of people that started to disconnect from their own power, and they started to operate in survival, in lack, and they did the best that they could. Thank God for them, because they did the best that they could. But now we are being called to embody more love, to reconnect with the truth. Another quote that A Course in Miracles, I don't know why I'm putting the Course in Miracles a lot, says, but it says, in my defenselessness, my safety lies. I had a call from my mom earlier today. She was not feeling good. She was going off, and I thought, this is really weird. She's just throwing like punches like to the air. I have no idea what was going on. So and she was trying to hurt me. So I sat down and I listened to what she was saying, and I just blessed her and sent her love and figure out how to help her. She was trying to evoke attack in me because she was attacking herself. Does that make sense? So what I do know is that when we are faced with these situations and we connect with the truth and we embody love, that is where the true healing occurs, both for you and its growth, tremendous growth for you and your soul, and for the other person. The person who attacks you, the person who hurts you, is a person that is attacking themselves. It's a person that's hurting themselves. It's a person that doesn't feel emotionally ready. I'm grateful to hear that. Like, doesn't feel emotionally ready or clear about who they are. They see themselves as a lie. Like they see themselves as ugly, not good enough, not worthy. And they have no idea of who they are truly on the inside. So the moment that, for example, I can listen to my mom and I can bless her, I am actually seeing her in her true light. I'm not trying to change her with my words. I'm not trying to force her to see something, but she's attacking herself. That's like when a person is like that, that person is scared of the light, is scared of love because it believes that love is going to hurt them. So, but in a presence where I can just see the love in her and I can bless her, she starts to calm down. People start to calm down, and you're giving them a blessing. In the book, The Prospering Power of Love, it says when you don't forgive, you believe that you're holding the other person accountable, but you are also hooking yourself to that vibration and keeping yourself there. You both can't move forward. So one of the biggest lessons on this planet right now is to learn how to forgive. Look, I don't know what situation you've gone through. I'm not saying stay with a person that hurt you. I'm not saying that you've got to do what's best for you and love yourself. What I am saying is on an energetic level, don't let someone else's hurt become your hurt in a different, twisted way. Because you're reflecting to each other your wounds. I'm going to put it to you in terms of dating. A woman might attract a man that wants to give her the world and out of nowhere disappears, cheats on her, and just leaves. And that triggers in her a feeling of her not being good enough. So his wound triggered in her wound. And you have a choice in that moment. If you can all put yourself in the place of this woman in the moment, you have a choice. This was a gift that was given to you. Are you going to choose to believe the wound? Or are you going to connect with the truth and realize that that person is not fully loving themselves? Whenever you're given these opportunities, it's important to be able to look at them through the eyes of the higher self. The higher self understands that this life is for you to learn how to love more. So you can either choose the point of view of the higher self, or you can choose the point of view of the ego. The ego, because it feels separate from the universe or God or whoever you want to call it, source energy, Mother Earth, because it feels separate and abandoned and alone. What it will do is it will be like, see, the universe doesn't love me. I am not meant to have love. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been working on myself, and I have not seen a man show up. But then what happens in that moment is that you miss the mark. You missed the mark. You were being called in that moment to trust and say, wow, you know what? It's time for me to stop believing that I'm not good enough. Thank you very much, man in front of me that disappeared. Thank you for this gift. I'm choosing to love me. I know that I am amazing. And then you learn your lesson and you go to your next level. But when these things happen, it's like they're testing you. What are you going to choose? Are you choosing love, or are you choosing fear? Are you choosing love, or are you choosing fear? You have a choice to choose love or fear every single moment of your life, and that is going to reflect in your love life, in regards to your self-love, your well-being, in regards to your finances. What are you believing? The biggest gap that I see is that women are embodying the personality, the ego that feels lost, that feels unloved. It's looking for blame, it's holding resentment. They don't know how to forgive because they're operating in many ways from the ego. And because it feels separate, it's not going to want to really forgive. That's where you connect with the spirituality of things, or your higher self. I define the higher self as that source of love that is inside of you, that's ever present, that it doesn't fluctuate. It's always emanating unconditional love. When you connect with your higher self, you can choose love. Love for yourself first and foremost. And that is what needs to be addressed. If you live through the personality, you're going to identify with it so much that you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like you're suffering. Nothing is ever going to be enough because the personality doesn't see itself as enough or sees others as enough. To embody love and have more love in your life, you have to embody a higher capacity to love. So where do you need to embody a higher capacity to love in your life? Is it towards yourself? Is it towards life? Or is it towards others? I would love to hear from you. Where is it that you need to embody more love for, like for yourself, for others, or for life? Like where is that gap for you right now? Whoever can share, I would really appreciate it.
For me, it's towards myself.
Okay.
I have glimpses of the blissful frequency of love, and those moments are getting longer and longer, and it's the most beautiful, peaceful thing in the entire world. I want to keep choosing that in every moment, because it's the most pleasurable and blissful place for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So how do you stop yourself from fully loving yourself?
I choose to make myself wrong, and it's a habit that needs to be broken. Or I need to choose something else, should I say? Oh, I need to choose. I need to choose that I am allowed to just exist without needing to be good, bad, right, or wrong. That paradigm of good, bad, right, and wrong exists very strongly in my operating system, as it were. And I'd like to fully exist outside of it. Because when I do have glimpses of existing outside of it, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share?
Oh, hi. Sorry, it's Wendy.
Hi.
Yeah, I would say in terms of, I guess, like what you were saying before, I really want to know more about love consciousness because I'm still not really that sure. I mean, I know it's thinking about love more through less of your mind and more through your heart. And I guess that's what I need to work on because I tend to like, you know, mind screw up things because I'm over analyzing things and not, like you said, and that's obviously coming from trust. Unconscious trust issues, which I'm not thinking that that's what it is, but that's really what's happening. Is my overthinking is actually not trusting, and I didn't really realize that before because I'm always I'm a very analytical person, but I realized that that's actually a crutch for just not trusting.
Okay, that's powerful. And let me ask you this: from the top of your mind, like head right now, like what is the overthinking helping you with?
Sorry, say that again.
What is the overthinking helping you with?
I think because it helps me in like other ways, like the way that our world is. We're we're taught to think, like when we're in school, my parents always taught me to, like, it was always about performance and thinking. And it was never about, like, there was never any self-development or self-awareness of your soul, or like what your soul has a different way of communicating with you that's not through the mind. You know, like I was never taught that. Although, like when I was younger, I intuitively, like from a spiritual level, I knew that, but I guess I never really had any mentors or anyone that really showed that to me until I was older.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more like the thinking mind is more. I mean, obviously now I know more, but it comes from the ego. We rely on our ego and less on our heart, and we're taught, whether it's through media, through movies, through parents, through bad relationships or whatnot, that it's more important to think, because if you think, then maybe you can avoid getting hurt, right? That's probably what it is. It's about it's a way to protect ourselves, our heart. That's what we think, anyways.
Yeah, that's powerful. It's the truth. It's honestly the truth. We live in a culture where we like at least on the like Western side, at least, like there's more around like you have to think. Thinking is better than feeling, that sort of thing. But I really do believe that it's more about being grounded in your higher self, and also understanding how the world really works on an energetic level. Like love is a choice, and it's just so important to be able to connect with it and genuinely seek it. If for anyone here that has been working on attracting love and they feel like something is missing, then you have to connect more with your higher self. You have to like have a list of things that connect you to unconditional love and that help you see it. And this is the best piece of feedback that I can ever give you. You have to seek it. You have to ask for it. Even if it feels like you're talking alone, just look around and just ask, like, I want to be able to witness more unconditional love. And the mind will have you think like, oh, I want to be able to witness it from people. But let the universe first show that to you. And you will start to have moments of synchronicity where you feel so much love, and then that's all that really matters. I feel like sometimes we ask people to love unconditionally, or you should be doing this or you should be doing it, but they can't even do that for themselves. Not everybody, right? But like it's important to really let go first of our pain. The pain in many ways, it's ego. There's no need for pain when you're connected with your higher self. There's no need for pain when you're connected to love. And that is the biggest thing. When you hold on to an identity that tells you that you can't have love, that you can't be your authentic self, that love is risky, and that you hold on to it so tightly that you live from your ego and you create that reality, even if you're working on attracting love, because you haven't learned how to let go of the belief that says, I can't have love, or it's not safe for me to have love. So it's really good that you're all here. And for those who are watching it later, like it's important to not identify with the pain anymore. And I feel like I want to do my best at explaining this, because I didn't understand it when it was first explained to me. I was so overcome with pain that I couldn't really trust it. Trust what they were saying. I couldn't. So, and that's what I had to really work on healing it so I could see it. But then I also have to seek it. I seek being connected with love every single day, and I do it every single day. And that's a topic maybe for another day, or before we start, I actually would address it, because I want to help you see the importance of the energy work that we need to do and really understand something. I believe it's in the book Power versus Force that it talks to you about how people are operating. And it says like around 50% of the world is operating on fear. That's 50, which is, for me, it's a great number. Like we're moving forward. People are waking up. People are connecting more. There's a 0.5% of the world where they're still operating in lack and in fear. So it's important that we send love to them. But I really look at the number 50. That's 50% of people that are operating in love, like in higher consciousness, that embody an energy of having love. So that is a really helpful number for you to see that, hey, you can meet somebody at that level. You definitely can. And it's so important that you go at this with your power. When we are going to do energy work, that's going to help you, lift so many things from your energy. And it's also important for you to operate from your power, from your connection and from your heart, moving forward and learning how to trust the universe, and yourself, because practice is what makes perfect. You're going to start to see it time and time and time and time again until you really see that it's safe for you to be yourself. All that really matters is that you're pleasing to yourself and that you're pleasing, like you're embodying love. The identity will have you believe that you need to protect yourself, that it's not safe, that there are no good men out there, all these different things. You have to learn how to identify what is the voice of your fear, of the fear, and the voice of love. It's a priority because you can so easily become that because you haven't learned how to ground yourself in the energy of love yet. So, for example, Ingrid, you were sharing how you're feeling hopeful in a moment and then you realized something and you went on a lower end, right? It's important for you, Ingrid, to really practice the Dr. Joe Dispenza book and grounding yourself in your choice and knowing how to remember love and your choice so that you become more stabilized in your energy and in your choice. Feminine energy is so fluid. It goes like this. You can go from one moment you're feeling a high, you're like ecstasy, you're feeling love, and you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, and then you're back up to joy, all in a day. What I believe that most people don't get is that there's two sides of things, either the ego, the shadow version, or the fear side of things, and the empowered version of things. The empowered version of feminine energy, in that fluidity, she is centered. She knows who she is. And that's how she becomes a force of nature. It's not when she's not grounded. So after you do these clearings, I'll recommend some books. There's also the love consciousness training that I teach, that will really help you also become more centered. And I can also give you other options if you desire to do something else. But it's important that you work on your belief, is what I'm saying. Belief is the number one thing that you need to work on. Looking at sources that really help you see the love, trust the love, and move forward. You're creating a new way of being. That is what you need to work on moving forward. Does that make sense? That is what you need to do. You need to work on having a new way of being. Building your power, building up your belief. You can't wait for the belief to come to you. You can't wait for it. The ego does this funny thing. We're going to call it funny, but it's actually destructive. It keeps you in a place where you're not trusting. So you're looking for signs on the outward to know whether you can love somebody or not, or you can love yourself, or you can have love. It's not going to come until you choose it on the inside, because you understand and you're connected with the ever-flowing of love that exists. Does that make sense? You can't wait to look for proof on the outside to see, well, that person is behaving that well today. That means I can let down my guard. It's you versus billions of people. And then you are cutting yourself off from your own light. So there's real growth here. Understanding that love is eternal, love is ever present, and you also get to choose it every day so that you're grounded in it and you can walk with confidence. And you have to choose that you can have love. You have to choose that you're choosing to live with your heart open right now, no matter what, because it's a reflection of who you are. And you're not willing to waste another day of your life living an authentic life, sacrificing your happiness because other people are in pain. It's not that you're not going to care about other people. Please care about other people. Send them love. They're lost. But you can't wait for them because you need to choose yourself first. And it's through your own example and your own energy that you help them see that they can do it for themselves. So you have to choose love first every single day, and find things that will help you connect to the real understanding that love is there, that it's not going to leave. We have water every single day. We have fruits. We have beautiful flowers. Like, everything is a reflection of love. Beauty is in and around us. But can you see it? There is this web of fearful thoughts that keep you overthinking over and over and over again, keep you in fear, but it's not the truth. The love that is being provided for you, it's there. Do you see what I mean? It's actually there. All you have to do is come back to center and connect with it and trust it more. Yes, there's going to be people that might hurt you, but you are stronger than that. You have a choice to be hurt and form a picture and identity that stops you from having love from that experience. Or you can feel the hurt, or you can just know that they're hurting. It's a choice. Hurting is a choice. And bless them and move on and start to connect and ask the universe to send you somebody, a man that is ready, a man that is full of love, a man that is connected, a man that is grounded, a man that is stable. And expect to have it. One of the ways in which the ego lies to you is that it makes you believe that you don't deserve love, or that you're not good enough for love. You got to let that go. If you're trying to attract love from a place of I'm not good enough, then you're still believing the lie. Everyone is good enough. If you were to look at a baby, like, all babies are beautiful. If you could actually see the beauty in the baby and understand that everybody comes with beauty, and that everybody's more than enough, then you're good. That is the truth. What is true is true, is true, is true, is true. The love is eternal. It does not change. It does not waver for anybody. It actually waits on everybody. You have got to live your life, and you've got to choose love as a reflection out of your own soul. And I really mean this. You are doing yourself a disservice. You're letting your own light die when you are not choosing love. You're not choosing yourself. If you choose to see yourself as anything less but love, then you're letting your ego hurt you and damage your chances of moving forward. So you can actually choose the path of love by starting to be grateful. Grateful for the lessons that you're receiving. Grateful for the unfolding that you're experiencing. Wow, like, this opportunity, this contrast is helping me really see my light, really forgive my parents, see my parents with more love. It's helping me expand my capacity to love. It's helping me love more, perfect my love. I really believe that the whole purpose of this is learning how to perfect our love in a really drastic ways, because sometimes people can behave in really like ways that are damaging, but they're first damaging to themselves and they're not aware of that. So the more we can cultivate more compassion, more love, more care, and not going to that dark place where you see yourself as not worthy. I mean, what an amazing journey it is to come back to your truth, to come back to the fact that you're beautiful, that you're lovable, that you're more than enough. the more you get to that space, you find peace. Peace will find you, and things will start to feel really peaceful and good for you. So please know that this is a choice. It's something that you have to do every single day, and you will grow stronger in it. And you have to consciously seek it every day. And as to grow stronger in it, and in your actions, you will grow. There will be moments when you're out there in the world where you might, because a lot of women that I work with are very sensitive. They can start to pick up on other people's energy or the consciousness of the city that they're around them. Always, this is not overthinking, but become so aware that you can notice when you're going off in a different vibration. You can notice it. Earlier today, I was driving and I started to honk at a guy. I never honk. And I noticed a reaction in me. I was like, wait a minute. It was an old thought, an old behavior from years ago that I saw my parents do. And I was like, I can love in that person. Like, I was responding in lack, like with annoyance. And I was like, do I really need to be annoyed about this? Do I really need to? Like, I'm assuming a lot of things there. Let me just show up in love and bless that person, or support them. You always have a choice. It's the over-identification with the pain of the ego that keeps women attracting unavailable relationships or people. And the universe will keep giving you experiences where you might meet another unavailable person, but it's helping you see, like, hey Charlene, hey Ingrid, hey Wendy, hey Jennifer. It will be like, you need to let this go. But then if you look at it through the ego, it'll be like, see, the universe doesn't love me. That's not what it is. It's an invitation for you to wake up. The universe is always showing you, like, hey, you're choosing this, you're choosing this, you're choosing this. But if you look at it through the eyes of the ego, you will feel attacked. That's not what is going on. The universe is asking you to choose differently. You are mastering choice, and you need to learn, like, how to choose love. And the universe is showing you, like, let me show you what you're choosing. Let me show you what you're choosing. Let me show you what you're choosing. So today we're going to start releasing identities, and releasing that pain so that you can actually start to see more clearly. But before we do that, I would love to hear from you and know what are you getting from this?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said. This is Wendy. I think the other thing that, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak for all women, but for myself, I think growing up, like, I grew up with, the idea of Disney princess, and this, like, the idea of romance being like that love comes from a man. And I think as women, we've been kind of been taught from media that we're supposed to get the love from a man and not from ourselves, and not from nature, or from basically, like you said, like the grid around us that is love. And I think now I'm making that shift where I'm realizing love doesn't come just from a man. I mean, it could come from a man, but I'm not looking for love just from a man anymore. You know what I mean? I see love everywhere. Like, I see love, even like you were talking about the car where the person was beeping. I mean, I used to, like, kill bugs if they were annoying me, like even a mosquito or a spider or a fly that was coming in, instead of, like, now I don't do that. I try to capture it. If I know it wants to get outside, I'll try to capture it so that I release it outside, but I'm not killing the bugs anymore. And I think because I've realized, I think I'm slowly making this shift where I realize that love is in every little thing. Everything that has meaning, even like a tree, is love. And I think as women, we like, part of the reason why I think we have these experiences with men, I mean, part of it is obviously the trust issues and the things that we're not developing within ourselves. But I think also it's a wake-up call to realize love doesn't come from just a man. Like, I mean, the man is just one example of meaning of love in the life, like of countless other things that are in your life that are showing you love on a minute by minute basis. And I think that's been, like, so freeing to me, in terms of, like, also not putting so much responsibility on a man to, like, meet all your needs. And that's, it's, and likewise, like if we met a guy that was so available to us and like sought all meaning in us and, would get upset at every little thing that we did, like we would get turned off by that guy too. You know what I mean? Because, it's like love is supposed to be about freedom of basically of being who we are and appreciate, basically I think just everyone enjoying life and love all around us, but it's not from one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that includes our friendships with women too. Like, like it's not healthy to have just one girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's beautiful because more importantly, you're not going to try to get the love from a man. You have to first remember that you are love and that the universe is love. Therefore, you are well sourced in love, right? And from that place, you can give love in a really beautiful way. And you give it freely because you're well sourced.
Yeah. So for me, I've really learned a lot from in terms of like that love isn't like love is basically everywhere, like you said. And I think that's been really freeing. And also realizing too, like you said, that everything is contrast around us. Like I was reading or listening to that Joe Dispenza book you suggested, and how there was this one woman who she worked at some college, and she went down to the mailroom and somebody had put like a pipe bomb in the mailbox, and it basically blew up, that whole area, and caused her to have obviously years and years of painful surgeries to fix all the damage. Like luckily she didn't die, but she actually learned to forgive him, and she said actually it was such a huge gift because he freed me from this new awareness of healing and just being like and knowing what I really am, which is unconditional love. And I don't think we realize it from an unconscious level. Most of us are operating from the ego, so we don't see that. We see like cancer, or we see these bad experiences, or a bad parent, or a loss of a job or a loved one as being like a terrible thing because we're looking at it from lack and fear. But the reality is a lot of these things, if you look at it, they're actually there to awaken us. And so when you look at it like that, like even the person that's on the street who pushes rudely past you and like bumps your shoulder, I mean, instead of, of course your initial instinct is to be like, oh, like how rude. But the reality is like I think what you were saying before is like all of these people, I mean, we don't understand it because we're like here on earth, but those people are we're experiencing them because again, it's like the contrast for love, and they're actually in a way, they're like you said, they're kind of almost like angels there in disguise, there to teach us more about love. Like even the terrorists that had probably 9/11, I mean, so many people obviously are so angry with them and wish the worst upon those people, but the reality is they made the world wake up in a lot of ways. Or even a president that causes a lot of divisiveness. I mean, there's always a purpose for these people. If we look at it from fear and lack, we get taken down by our ego, but the reality is they're actually there as a gift for us to discover who we really are and discover more about love and help others.
Yeah, and it's important to ask yourself, like, how does this help me embody more love? How does this experience, how this contrast helps me embody more love? What is this helping me decide? How can I be grateful for this person that brought up this wound that made me feel not good enough in a second? How can I use this to choose myself and connect with the truth that I am good enough, right? And move forward rather than sinking more into the fear or the untruth. Right. And then the universe keeps giving you more experiences like that because you're meant to, somebody that I love, Michael Bernard Beckwith, he talks about like the unfoldment of your soul, right? You're here to expand and experience more love in a really contrasting place, but everything is love or a call for love. But what I most importantly want to like share here is that you have a unique story right now that it's making you feel guilt or wrong or dependent on others for love or makes you feel anxious. I want you to really connect with that, what that story is, because we're going to start today with forgiveness, and create a space for forgiveness. And then we're going to continue on Tuesday and we're going to go deeper into the clearing. This was more like the introduction call where I explain things. And as more ladies join us on Tuesday on the next, the 24th, we're going to go more into clearing. But I would first like to hear from Charlene or Ingrid, one of you, just for time purposes. And we will start like the meditation of starting to forgive yourself. I'm going to give you some homework. This is a month where you're going to free yourself and you're going to open up to love. All right? Who would like to go and share? Charlene or Ingrid?
I'll go. Can you hear me better?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the iPad. Okay, so every session that I have with you, every clearing session, every coaching session, you expand my mind into what is even possible for me to choose. I kind of been sitting here thinking, oh, I didn't know I could have that. I didn't know I could choose that. It's been that kind of experience for me listening to you. And I think I felt like really experiencing love in all of its fullness, whatever that meant, was kind of a myth. And so it just didn't even occur to me, like the levels of love and the frequency that you are speaking of is just, it was like a fairy tale over there somewhere. And now I know that I can choose it and bring it into my reality. I'm deeply humbled to even be here. And oh man, I'm grateful.
You're welcome. I'm excited. And like I said, that the biggest piece of coaching that I can give everyone is to just seek it. You know, for some people, it comes for them to touch, like to be down on their knees, to actually ask for it. But seek to connect with the truth, ask for the truth, ask it from a really joyful, connected space. Like ask to be able to see clearly, so that when people come at you with their hurt, you can work on yours or release it. Charlene knows that I don't like saying it, calling it yours, because the subconscious mind wants to keep what it has. So if you say, this is my pain, this is my experience, this is this or this or you're kind of like holding on to it, while it was just an experience that it can just freely leave. Right? You don't have to hold on to it. It's the ego, the identity that wants to hold on to it and wants to let it define you. So please connect now with who you need to forgive the most. Please connect with 3 people. It could be yourself. Most people forget to add themselves. But what I've actually seen is that the biggest person, like the biggest situation or experience that you need to forgive is forgiving yourself. Because deep down, you know the truth, you know who you are, and you know that you're loved. And every single moment that you don't choose it, like you can kind of like attack yourself unknowingly. And I mean, the deepest part of you doesn't hold any sort of resentment towards you, but you might have identities within you, like the Wendy that's 12, or the Ingrid that's 15, or the Charlene that's 20, that says, how could you? Like, you know who we are. We are amazing. And why are you choosing to believe that you're not good enough? And that creates this loop of resentment on the inside that doesn't let you move forward. So that's why I want to add, to help you like create a space for you to forgive yourself. And to also bring up in your mind a person and an experience that you need to forgive. Be willing is the most important thing that I want to ask you to do. And we're going to do this. It's going to go for around 12 minutes. Just, I want you to create this space. I'm going to post a link for this on Monday. If I can post it today, I will, so that you can really connect with this. Forgiveness is what's going to free you, and it's going to move you into the different direction. Okay? So let's just all close our eyes. I'm going to remove the video just for a second so let's just close our eyes, unhook our legs. Put your palms facing upward, and let's just inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now, with your eyes closed, just feel love. Connect with your center and connect with unconditional love. If it's behind closed doors, just open it and feel it just for yourself in this moment. Feel unconditional love. If you can't connect with the feeling, remember a baby, a moment in your life where you felt unconditionally loved, the experience of having a pet and feeling their unconditional love towards you. Or just interacting with pets. Feel love. Feel love. Do you remember a picture when you were a baby? And all you felt was love, and you wanted to touch your cheeks. And you remember how beautiful you are. Feel that love for yourself right now. And let white light emanate from this mental picture. And sense and or feel or see this white light expanding all over you, all over your chest, your heart, your abdomen, your solar plexus. See it expanding, expanding, expanding until all you see is white light, or all you feel is white light. You are sourced in white light from head to toe. Now see this white light expanding and growing until it's the size of the whole planet. And all you feel and all you sense is white light. You can feel how pure this white light is. And how it straightens like your thinking, your way of being. It opens up your eyes. You're able to see clearly. You're able to hear clearly. You're able to experience things clearly from the perspective of your higher self, where you have a willingness to forgive yourself, to forgive others, to to forgive life, and to let go of the identity that keeps you separate from your source, from the truth, and from the identity that makes you disconnect from your own light. In this space, we can invite your higher self. We can invite the universal support that is available for you of the highest frequency, whether that is Mother Earth. If you have any sort of spiritual belief, if you believe in God or not, or you just believe in the universe, whatever you believe in, just know that you're not alone and that life has your back. You have a solid place where to land and where to feel safe, where to feel at peace. So just receive this support right now that is available for you. You can see it as a gift given to you. And create a space for you to connect with the gift that you're given. And feel safe. See more white light coming in all around you, letting it source you, letting it calm you, letting it help you connect back to the truth. You're worthy. You're worthy. And you're free. You're free to be yourself. You're free to create love, experience love. Whoever best fits you, that brings you the greatest joy, the greatest happiness, and the greatest pleasure. Every and all places where you've robbed yourself out of your own freedom to be love, experience love, have love. We ask that this energy is completely released out of your energy. And everywhere you've made the choice to not have love, to not let yourself have love, we completely release it everywhere from your energy. All the beliefs, programs of fear, of anxiety, of guilt, of shame, of right or wrong, of I'm not good enough, I'm not safe, I can't have love, love is too difficult for me. We completely release it at all levels down forever. All wounds of nobody cares for me, or they don't care about me in the same way that I care about them. We ask that it's completely released. So ask this white light to heal you, to remove any blockages or subconscious patterns or beliefs, identities that are in the way of you fully choosing love and you fully feeling free to have love. Be willing to release. Let yourself go and just release. Know what you're here for. Know it and be willing to release. Keep yourself in this energy and in this white light. And I invite you right now to forgive. Forgive yourself. You can see yourself in front of you. And forgive yourself for keeping yourself trapped under the illusion that you can't be yourself. The illusion that you can't be your highest self. That life isn't safe for you to move forward, for you to open up your heart even more, and for you to have love. If you're blaming yourself or angry towards yourself, create the moment for true forgiveness. You've been doing the best that you have known to do under your level of awareness. And that was beautiful. That is beautiful. Give yourself some grace, some self-acceptance, total self-acceptance. Believe in love. Believe in love again. To believe in love again, you have to first believe in yourself and your innocence. And all the things that you did to protect yourself. Just see the innocence in that. If you constantly attack yourself or make yourself not good enough, or you let society or you choose society's beliefs or other people's beliefs to dictate whether you're good enough or not, forgive that. Forgive yourself. Create the experience to really forgive yourself. Love yourself. Bless yourself. Be grateful for yourself. And celebrate yourself. In this moment, you can see yourself hugging yourself, your inner child merging with you or merging with the light, whatever really feels right. And now, if you need to forgive somebody else, sever the person that shows up in your mind right now. Who is the person that you need to forgive the most to open yourself up to love? Who shows up? I invite you to see this person in front of you and shake hands with them or hug them, whatever feels right, to release each other karmically. Forgive them. You don't know what led a person to hurt you in the way that they hurt you. If you can ever even feel compassion, or if you're not there, if you're just willing to forgive because you want to move forward, wherever you're at, just be willing to forgive, to soften your heart, to set yourself free. Radical forgiveness keeps you free. Be willing to forgive. The moment you forgive yourself and you make yourself free. Let everything be settled between you. No need to prove that they love you in the way that you want them to. No need to prove that they're sorry. Forgive because you want to be happy. Last, if you need to forgive life, if for some certain reason you felt like the universe was against you or obligated you to do things you didn't want to do, create the space to forgive even more. How have these experiences helped you shift, help you connect with your soul, and expand further in life? Create the space for grace and for gratitude. Life is for you. You get to create your own hero's journey. Doesn't need to be hard. It's just a choice. Life has your back. It is important that you come back into harmony with the universe, so that you allow yourself to learn through joy. And not through victimization. Life loves you. So in this moment, allow yourself to connect with the frequency and the harmony of the universe loves me. The universe supports me. I am safe. I can have love. Now take a couple minutes to just receive this frequency. Receive the frequency, receive the attunement, and let it become you. Let it activate you, let it raise your energy, let it raise your vibration for a stronger, more powerful way of being that is connected to love, strongly connected to love at all times. And you can choose to receive it and even say that out loud. I receive this. And I give thanks for all the love and all the support that is made available to me right now and to all of us. I welcome it and I receive it with grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're ready, feel free to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and open your eyes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. How are you feeling?
I'm good. You know, I've noticed, like, I don't know if this is normal, but like when I'm going through a lot of like self-development or self-awareness, I get really exhausted. Is that normal sometimes? Like,
Yeah.
to feel really tired?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily during, like, not during this session, but I'm just saying, just in general, I might not feel tired at this moment, but I'll feel really tired at some point later today or tomorrow. It might even hit me a day or two later.
Could be the overthinking and the guilt, because those are like lower frequencies
Yeah.
and they're being freed from the body. So I recommend that you drink like at least 3 to 4 liters of water every day, as you're going through self-development stuff, because your body is processing it. It needs energy, needs life force to be able to process it. So whether working out helps you or vitamins that give you like energy, give your body fuel. I mean, some people are good like with protein. It keeps them upbeat. Other people, the lack of protein makes them feel that energy. Green juices, vitality, right? That's what you're seeking, because in a way your body is processing things now.
It's interesting too, because my body physically is, I mean, I don't want to gross people out, but I've been releasing a lot, like the last couple of weeks. I've been going very regularly, like sometimes twice a day. And also I had a dream yesterday that was like about that too, and it was just so bizarre. But I think what I read about it was that it's because I'm releasing, it's like I'm getting rid of all this emotional garbage out of my body.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And even though I'm recommending like things that give you vitality, like is to give vitality for the body to process it, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily to push your body to do things that it might not be able to do in the moment, right? You don't want to force your body, because your body is processing stuff that you've had for a long time. So it's just to give it enough vitality to process it with grace. And if your body's asking you for you to go to sleep, then that's also part of the process. If your body's asking you to go to sleep, please go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Don't try to force it, because your body's asking. Like many times you need your conscious mind asleep so that you can release things easily.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, Wendy.
Thank you.
How is Ingrid and Charlene feeling? You're welcome, Ingrid. How are you feeling? Great. Ingrid, you might not be able to join on or you might, it will be at 8 p.m. my time, but it will be really good for you on Tuesday. All right. How are you, Charlene?
I completely fell asleep. I was sleeping to the point of dreaming. I only just woke up. I only woke up because Wendy started speaking. Like, seriously. It is 8 something to 9 p.m. here. And after this, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you also had an event today, so
Yeah.
you held space for people. So it's really important that you take care of yourself and your energy. I'll do my best to put. What I'm gonna actually recommend for everybody is that you go through this forgiveness experience tomorrow, and at least the last part, correct, and Monday and the whole week, like however long you need it. But forgiveness is the key to actually move forward. If you haven't forgiven, you tend to stay stuck under the same feeling. Okay, so however long you need to go through this forgiveness experience, if you need to journal it out, if you need to feel into it, like collectively just start repeating, like not collectively, but just start saying like, I forgive you, like I forgive you, Dad, I forgive you, Mom, I forgive you, I bless you, you were in pain, you were suffering, I release all of this, I refuse to keep myself captive, right? And I'm free. Even repeating I am free, I am free, I am free will really activate that for you. I am free. Everybody repeat, I am free. So exactly, like I am free, I am free. Like it's an activation, choosing to be free. I am free, I am free, I am free. All right?
Is there certain things that like, cause usually it's not things that I'm consciously aware of, but are there certain things like that could occur where you think you've forgiven everything, but it's clear that you haven't? So like, what are some things that will indicate to you that you haven't fully forgiven?
You will feel a reaction when you're around the person. You will feel a need to react, to shut down, or to attack.
Or you have like a thought, you'll start thinking about that person and holding them in a space that is maybe not necessarily unloving, but almost like either a space of guilt or something, right? Where, yeah.
Yeah, towards yourself or towards other people, which like
Well, or you'll start like you might go over things in your head. Like for me, it'd be more like I feel guilt about that person because I'm feeling that I'm supposed to still do something, or I'm owing them something that.
so it's towards yourself.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
towards myself.
So you need to forgive yourself and repeat, I am free, and like really go through this again where you're saying like, I am free, I am free, I am free. The private session that you and I are going to have as well will work with that.
Okay, great.
Like if I feel like for you, understanding things helps you release.
Yeah. Also, like in terms of like what you're eating and drinking, like when you're going through a lot of like whether it's this workshop or just a lot of like releasing a lot of things and becoming more love conscious, is what you eat and whatnot. Is it really important during this time period, or what do you think, or is it?
Yeah, it is. Don't eat. I haven't really shared that much because we haven't started that much on the clearing process, but I will once we start. Um, Eating like a lot of flour, sugar, processed foods is a no-go, because it confuses the mind while the mind needs to, and the body, they both need to release.
Yeah.
So eating as clean as you can works a lot.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, just in general too, I'm thinking that. So yeah, I realize that just it seems like everything is so symbolic. Like if the more clear you are, the more clear you attract in your life, as well as like the more clear you eat, the more clear your body. It's almost like it's like this. It's all connected, you know. Like that's what I'm noticing now more so
Yeah.
than ever. Like there's nothing that you can really isolate and say, well, if I'm really like if I don't do the best in this area, then it's not going to affect my other areas. It can't help but like trickle into your other areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, ladies, I'm going to invite you to eat very well. If you feel in need, if you have a tendency to be kind of like spacey, eat your protein to ground yourself as you do this process. I'm going to be sharing a list of things that I recommend for you to eat during like the week once we start the clearings. But other than that, you're good. Right now, what I have for you is to focus on the forgiveness piece. Find out who it is that you really need to forgive. Is it yourself or is it another person? Just release everybody. Don't understand that forgiveness is to help you be free, right? Free to move forward. You refuse to be captive to fear, to pain, to suffering, to believe that you're not enough. Be willing to see clearly. So like I said, seek that energy, seek that presence of love, and just saying, I am willing, I am willing, I am willing to be clear in my thinking, in my like what I see, like what I believe. Like I am willing. And you can ask the universe to genuinely help you connect with that pure source energy love, and just ask like, please help me. I am willing to see clearly, and then enjoy your process. So always seek to connect with the truth. So whenever you're seeking, ask to connect with the source of love, with the true source of love, and be like, please help me. I'm willing. I am willing. I am ready. I am free. Like, just show me what I need to do, what I need to release. It's your own unique relationship and your unfoldment of living as love. So connect with love, pure source energy love. Ask to connect with pure source energy love. The reason why I keep saying, you're welcome. The reason why I keep saying connect with pure source energy love is because there's a lot of confusion around and a lot of fear that people have. And whenever you're asking, because people are sensitive and they might not be necessarily grounded, they can connect with energies of fear of other people, and they can misguide it as like believe that that's the guidance that they're receiving. But if it sounds fearful, it's not that. It's just you're feeling other people's energy. Does that make sense? So asking for pure source love, the source of love, the highest form of love, like connect with that. Seek, just mention that. It's going to make a big difference, and seek it and say, I am willing to see clearly. I'm willing to see clearly. And I receive the help of pure source love in this moment. I am willing to receive it, so that you know what you are connecting with and what you choose to vibrate with, rather than being part of the confusion. Does that make sense?
Yes, great.
Awesome. Wendy, I recommend for you to read the book Power versus Force.
Power versus Force?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. And who's the author, or do we know?
Dr. Hawkins. I don't know his full name.
All right, cool.
You're welcome. Well, ladies, it's been a pleasure. Talk to you on Tuesday. It's at 8 p.m. For those of you not able to go live, I will be posting the replay as well. Make sure that once you have the video and the audio, to download it, to keep it on your computer, and so that you have easy access to it. I'll send it over. We transfer the audio that normally takes, like, in 7 days, it deletes itself. So download the audio, and the video will be posted on YouTube on a private link. So only those who have the link will be able to see it. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.